Hey guys, it's Evil Aniki, and today I'm bringing you an update video for Anime Expo 2024. There's a lot of changes happening this year, and I thought I'd make a little video covering it, especially since I've been getting a lot of comments on some of my older videos about how to find certain entrances, and I thought just making a little video just covering over everything would be the best way to inform people of what's happening because again, like I said, a lot of big changes this year. I think this year is going to be the biggest Anime Expo ever. So, without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Here we have the map of the convention space. You can see over here on the right, this is the main hotel block with the JW Marriott and the Ritz-Carlton. There are more hotels, but these are the main two because they're within walking distance. And the big change is that all of the autographs are being moved to the JW Marriott. There's also going to be some premieres over here, and we'll talk about this a little bit later because this is kind of its own special little thing. And yeah, it's just a little bit different. They're also having a cosplay meetup section over here, which I think this might be the first time they're having a cosplay meetup over here. And then they've moved the ticketing and registration from the front of the convention center to Chickern Street, which is really, really cool. They've previously used this spot for COVID wristbands and stuff like that, but I'm really glad that it's being moved over here because I think this is a better spot for it in general. And then they're also closing off Pico Boulevard and part of Chickern Street. Again, I think this is the first year they've actually closed off both of these streets. They've only closed one off, one or the other off in previous years, which this is really, really big for them, I think. So let's go over the entrances first. So we have the side west hall entrance, which is now the Max Gate, and this is the entrance that I did a video on a previous year, calling it the secret entrance because not many people used to go to this entrance. That changed a lot last year. Last year, this entrance had like people that were like all the way like this. I'm not saying it's because of my video, but people definitely learned that it was an entrance. um, then they also have the Kisagi Gate, which is right here, and this one is like usually the worst one. It's not so bad later in the day, but in the beginning, this is like the worst entrance to go to because it's going to be have people lined up all the way around the block. Then the next entrance I want to go over is the Mahoko Gate, which is the one here on the left. And this one usually kind of comes in like this and goes around over here. You can sort of see here, kind of goes up the street. And this isn't so bad. This is also one of the other main entrances. And then the two main entrances, though, are probably going to be the I Gate and the Zeno Gate, or the Zeno Gate. And that's because they're closing off Pico Boulevard. So I don't know if there's going to be a waiting area like right here for people to get in, but it's going to be pretty chaotic, I think. Especially since this is where usually all of like the hot dog vendors are. And so I don't know if they're going to like shoo them away to make space for people trying to get in or what's going to happen in general with that. But it's going to be interesting. And yeah, so this is the Xenogate is the new entrance that they're adding this year, which I'm so happy for. And then I'm assuming what's going to happen is once you get into Pico Boulevard, you'll have access to uh, basically getting into the actual con because now you can get into the halls at 9 a.m., which is an extra hour early. They've added an hour to both the South and West Hall and the Kentia Hall, I believe, as well. We'll see that in a second. I have Google Maps open here, so just so you guys can see everything that's going to be happening with the street here. So we have Figueroa, and Figueroa here is, let me see if I can put in markers. I don't know if I can, but Figueroa is like the main street where you're going to get dropped off. Pico Boulevard is going to be closed off, and Chickern Street is going to be closed off. So let's get down here on the Google Street View and just look at things. So here we are. We're on Figueroa right now. And this is the main entrance area over here. I believe this is the Kisag. No, this is the I entrance right here. This is where it's going to be. So this whole area right here, where like this street for Pico Boulevard, this is all going to be closed off. This whole section right here is probably going to be blocked off by a giant fence, and this is going to be like food stalls. And then coming over here, this is the Kasagi Gate. This is probably going to be closed off, and there's going to be a bunch of rows of people here, and that's going to usually wrap around to over here to where Chickern Street is. Let's get over here. This is Chickern Street. Chickern Street is often closed down because of events. They've got, I wonder if you could see it here. They usually have like street medium things like, yeah, right here. You can see these. They put these up when there's like events. Let's see if you can get a better view of them over here maybe. Can I go this way? Why can't I go this way? What's going on? Oh, that's not what I wanted. Can I go here? Can I go here? Here we go. Now we're on Chikern Street. And this is where uh, that back gate is. This is usually where it is right here, and it usually wraps around. I don't know if this section of the street is going to be blocked off. Probably not, because there's parking right here. But yeah, this is where the entrance is. Now, the other entrance is um, the Mohoko Gate and the Zeno Gate, okay? Well, let's go to the Zeno Gate first. So, this is a bad spot. Let's go up further here. So back here, where Pico Boulevard and what is this? LA Live Way meet. This is where the Zenogate is going to be, and there's also going to be a huge bunch of food trucks right here. So I'm assuming this whole street right here is just going to be closed off, and there's probably going to be entrances on the side here to get into the halls. Now, if we come around the side here, oh my God, I don't want to get on the freeway. I don't want to go. Why am I in the back lot of? I didn't even know that was possible. Um, okay. So this is probably where the Mohoko Gate is going to be. So it's usually like this line right here. So it usually follows this side of the street, and it's usually right here. This whole road, this private road right here, is usually where the Mohoko Gate is. And this usually wraps around the building, unfortunately. And you can see you come up here, and then there's like, they don't really use it anymore. Um, where is it? Is this it? No, this is not it. It's right here. There's some entrances right here that usually they used to use this for badge pickup back in the day. I don't know if this is going to be the exact entrance for the Mohoko Gate, but they could also wrap it around. Sometimes they've wrapped it around right here to have it go into be like right here for previous events and previous anime expos. I hope they don't do that. I hope they do come in through this side door because it would make it things so much easier. But again, just so many entrances. I just don't know what they're going to be doing. But the AX Crossing thing, which is right here, let's actually look at a different map to go over that. Here's a kind of a little bit of a better map. You can sort of see here where it's kind of like this area that's kind of like this L shape, and it kind of covers Pico Boulevard and the front of the, what is it, the West Hall? And this is going to be for like food, and there's going to be a stage there, and looks like there's going to be some cosplay meetups. But let's pull up the actual map for that as well. And I believe that's right here. So you can see here, this is the AX Crossing map, and you can see here there's going to be food vendors over here, a block of food vendors over here, and then there's going to be food vendors up by the Zenogate, which is super interesting, and they've specifically calling these ones the food trucks. So I don't know if I think these might be stalls, and these might be food trucks right here, which would be very interesting to see. But you could see here there's a huge list of all of the food vendors. You can see like there's some anime themed ones too, like the Masoko Tensei curry. I don't know, like rice balls of fire. Like there's some interesting booth names here, and I'm really curious to see how this is going to go. Also, I've been seeing these around right here, these little people signs. They haven't really specified what these are on any of their maps. I'm assuming these are bathrooms. Uh, I'm assuming they're going to be porta potties or something of the sort. Because I see them in some of the halls and it kind of looks like they're bathroom stalls. I don't know. I can't be 100% certain. If they do get urinals for Anime Expo, that is going to be something different. I don't think they've had something like that in previous years, to my knowledge. And at least it's going to be under, this whole section right here would be under the this atrium area that covers, like, so there's this atrium between the halls, and I think the urinals, if they are urinals, they'll be right there, which is probably a good thing because it's going to be hot, and if those urinals were out in the sun, they would start smelling real bad. But I think it's a good thing if they are urinals, because so many years in previous years you get in and you have to rush to go find a bathroom, and then there's just not enough bathrooms in general inside the hall. I mean, and like the whole LA Convention Center, I think they need more bathrooms in general. But yeah, just adding some urinals outside would be really beneficial to people in general. Also, speaking of things that are happening outside, You have the beer garden in its typical location, and you have the Ichiban Market returning. So the Ichiban Market was really cool, like a few years ago when they first introduced it, and I think that's when they had the hype land going on with it as well. And then sort of in the years following, it kind of got less cool. It's still really, really, it's themed really, really cool. I'm hoping they bring that theming over to the AX Crossing. My understanding with the AX Crossing is they're the reason they're calling it AX Crossing is because they want to mimic the Shibuya crossing, and probably because JJK made that really popular for some reason. Uh, but we'll see how that goes. Normally, this is a place where people go and chill and hang out, and I don't know if they're going to be fencing this in or how this is going to be completely controlled. It's going to be interesting to see. But they also are going to have a stage at the AX Crossing. So let me point that out right here. Uh, right. Oh my God. Come on. Give me the right layer. So they have a stage here. This is a mini stage. They're going to be having a stage in the beer garden, and there's going to be a community stage in the entertainment hall, and there's probably going to be another stage somewhere else. I mean, the AX dance stage, and there's probably more stages that I don't know about. I'm not going to go over all of the stages. I'm just going to cover the one that's over here in the AX Crossing. So they do have a performance schedule out. I don't know. They didn't list anything specifically. There might be something on their website with like the exact hours and times. But from my understanding, a lot of the performers and groups that are doing a lot of the stage performances, they're being shuffled around every day to different stages at different times. So if you're trying to like follow someone around, well, no, don't follow someone around, but like if you're trying to catch a certain band at a certain time and you want to catch them throughout the event at all times, or if you're trying to catch them but like you can't see them at this hour because there's a panel, I'm sure they're going to be around again a little bit more. There's only a few performers that I think only have single slots, and yeah, just make sure you check that out if you're trying to find a specific performer. So now the one thing I want to cover, one of the main things is the autographs. And the autographs are a big thing this year. So let's go to the Marriott. So all of the autographs have been moved to the Marriott. And this is over in the hotel block. The big difference with the autographs is that instead of being 9 a.m. like the rest of the halls, they are 11 a.m. So make sure you get over there a little bit early. I don't know if they're going to be having lines over there, especially since you can now reserve some autographs online. I think there's going to be some paid autographs that you have to get in line for. But one of the big changes is the guest of honor. So the guest of honor signatures are actually going to be going through show clicks, and I don't know if they're going to be free. They were free in previous years, but what happened is people were lining up and just waiting there all day and night, and then just not leaving the line and saving a spot for like 30 other people, and just a lot of drama going on with this line for the autographs. And this year they're actually doing a thing where you have to reserve a ticket online. So, I mean, hopefully bots don't take them all up, and hopefully, they're probably going to sell it within minutes. But there's going to be a lot of big guest of honor people here, and I'm just super excited for it. I want to try and get some stuff signed, and they're having some specific rules this year where you can only get like what is it, Shingshi. I can't pronounce it. Basically, the little autograph boards that they have in Japan. AX is selling some of those, and you can't bring certain items to get signed, so like no Funkos and stuff like that, to my understanding. But yeah, this is a big change that they're having this over completely in the Marriott. All the signatures are going to be in the Marriott, because typically they used to be down in the Artist Alley. And if we look at the Artist Alley area, look at this. This is crazy. They're kind of using the same naming for the Artist Alley that they are for the entrances, which is a little confusing. I don't think they should be doing that. But they got the Mahoko, the Kisaki, and the Max sections. And then, of course, they've got this huge section here of the people who want to be an Artist Alley but aren't really artists, but they're kind of like mini brands, and it's just interesting. And then you've got this back section here, which is the 18 plus content area. They actually pulled this out of the main exhibition hall for the Artist Alley section, which is so wild. I mean, I think this is better because it's going to be out of that main hall, so it's going to be less crowded in there maybe. I don't know. Artist Alley tends to be really crowded, and I think a lot of the people who go to Artist Alley are probably going to want to go to the 18 plus section as well, because, well, I mean, just because. I do think that, it really bums me out that there's only one entrance, but it makes sense I guarantee you the entrance for this is probably going to be like a zigzag pattern. I would believe it's been so long, so many times in previous years, and it's just really unfortunate. There's a lot of really cool stuff happening in there this year. I'm not going to go over that in this video for specific reasons, but you will definitely find me in there in the con. One of the other main things that I wanted to cover was the South Hall lot. Well, one of the other main things that I wanted to cover is the halls. So they posted this up just like the other day, and it's called the lobby activation spaces. Now, that means nothing to most people, but if we scroll down here to see what this actually means, is you can see all of these brands here. So you got Hoyoverse, Sega, Billy, Nikke, High Dive, I think this is Gundam, Wild Bills, Blue Archive, Anna. You guys get the point. Basically, all of these booths, they don't have a booth in a hall, but they're in the actual halls themselves. And I think the main one to focus on here is at least for me and my fans, because I do so much Nikke coverage, the Nikke booth is going to be right here outside the main hall. So yeah, that's where it's going to be. It's going to be right next to Festival Japan and Blue Archive. Yeah, Blue Archive is going to be on the end there. And then what's the other one? These have weird names here. Because this says SF8, and there is no SF8. They're missing an SF8 and 9. So I don't know what that means, but it looks like there's going to be an SF8 here, and there's no SF8 on this list. So we'll see who that turns out to be when the con comes, I guess. Interesting that it's not listed on this flyer. Maybe they didn't pay enough money. But it looks like Wild Bills is going to be outside of the Kentia Hall, which is cool. Normally they're in like the main the exhibit hall, I think. I don't know. They kind of move around a lot. I've never been really fond of the Wild Bills. I don't really like their drinks so much. But yeah, I mean, if you get one of their mugs, you can get drinks from their booth, like at a bunch of different booths. I just wish they were at more events. You know, they go to like the big events, but I feel like they've been lacking in like the last, like pre-COVID, they used to be everywhere, and now I feel like I don't see them as much. But again, you get one of their mugs, and it can last you a lifetime. I'm super excited for High Dive too. But that's going to be it for all of the panels and the hall stuff. I think. Let me look here. There is the entertainment hall, as you can see here. There is a community stage, Hololive, Hoyoverse. Looks like Hoyoverse is going to have a multiple stages. And then Good Smiles over here on the side. Normally it's like right here. And it looks like Grand Archive and, band, all the typical people are here. Previous years, Nikke has been in this area, and I'm sad that Nikke is not in here this time. Yeah. And also, we've got these little dots here. I'm assuming these have to be bathrooms. Like, these have to be listed as bathrooms. Like, that's what they got to be. I don't think these are urinals, but I think the ones outside are urinals, like 100%. And this is also where the cosplay sets are. So normally the cosplay sets are like kind of like up here, and they've kind of moved them down. And I actually think there might be like normally the gachapon stuff. So normally it's like all of this is typical to like be like right here. And then there's like this, which is usually like cosplay sets and the gaming section. And the gaming section looks like it's a little bit smaller this year, which is a little interesting. I wonder how that's going to affect people. I know a lot of people like to go there and just sort of chill for, the day. Not my cup of tea, but I understand people do it. But that's it for all of the booths. Let's go over some panels, because that's the thing that a lot of people are going to be super, super stoked for. So let's see here. The big panel, two of the big panels, I should say, are for Dungeon Meshi. There's two Dungeon Meshi panels. I only have the flyer for one. I don't know which one is which, but Trigger's going to be hosting one, and it's going to have a live drawing and a Q&A. And then there's going to be another one, which is just a Q&A. And this is really important because if you go to the Trigger panel, Trigger is notorious for giving away Trigger Bucks. This is an image I found on Google from previous years. I think this is 2017's Trigger Buck. But basically, you can get a special, counterfeit currency with a Trigger character on it if you go to their panel. Good luck, though. They are super packed. I don't have any of the Trigger Bucks. I have some friends who collect them. It is, the trigger panels are very, very high demand, and I really want to get into the at least one of the Dungeon Meshi panels this year because it would be really cool. But we'll see. We'll see. It's gonna be rough, guys. I really don't want to wait like 6 hours in a line to to spend 6 hours at a con to get into like a panel, and there's more things I could be doing. But they have a lot of other guest of honor panels as well. So they have tracing the trails of the trails, and they've got Toshihiro Konda. And the thing with his panel is you get this really cool acrylic, which is super cool. Artwork is subject to change, I guess, but that's a really cool thing. I love a lot of the panels where they give free stuff. Always go to the premiere panels, guys, even for the smaller shows that you might not have heard of, because they'll give away so many cool things. There's like they'll give away bags and shirts, and there's always raffles. Last year I went to the Aki Bright panel, the guest of honor panel, and they were raffling off so many cool things. I didn't win anything, unfortunately, but there was like 20 winners, and there was like only half the audience was filled, which is wild. But moving on, we have the Blue Archive panel, the story kept within the heart, youth, X Academy, X military, anime, RPG, Blue Archive, yeah, yeah, yeah. And they're giving away a postcard, a keychain, and a little like fan. This is pretty typical for anime conventions and for gacha game type things. But this is super cute. And I love a blue hair girl. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, if I'm gonna go to this panel, but I'll see. I mean, it's pretty early. Yeah, that's an early panel. One of the premieres that I really want to catch, though, is the Dan to Dan world premiere. And this is super cool because they're going to have some special guests here, producers and directors, and probably some voice actors. And I believe the creator of this was actually an assistant for the Chainsaw Man manga artist, which is super cool to see that, a lot more talented people coming out of Japan. And yeah, this looks really phenomenal. I'm really excited for this. Another big panel is going to be the Wit Studio and Production IG panel, and this is going to be Kaiju number 8, Spy Family, and I don't know, was this Haiku? I don't remember. I can't pronounce it. The volleyball one. And then I don't actually know what this one is. It kind of looks like Gundam. I don't think that's Gundam though. It probably isn't Gundam. Um, Shinkoan? I have no idea. This might be new. This is probably brand new. But they're having special guests, and that's really cool. And this is going to be on Saturday, so this is a big, big thing. And who knows, they might be giving away free stuff. I mean, always go to the big panels because they're always going to be giving away free stuff. But speaking about big things, One Piece is having the Egghead Arc English dub premiere, which is really, really big. I know a lot of people out there are big One Piece fans. I'm not the biggest One Piece fan. I did go to the One Piece Cafe in Las Vegas, and I thought it was a little overpriced. I say a little overpriced. It was very overpriced, guys. But yeah, this looks cool. When I went to the Bandai Card Festival, the One Piece day where they had the One Piece tournament, like on day one, was the most packed. And yeah, One Piece really big with you guys out there. If you make it in, let me know. I mean, yeah. Another big panel. This is one I'm actually hoping to be able to go to, which is the Freerin Beyond Journey's End, and then the Apothecary Diaries panel. And this is a special event hosted by Toho Animation. And this is going to be, man, a lot of these panels line up at the same time. So it's like there's so many good panels this year. So I just don't think I'm going to be able to get into them. I don't know if there's going to be any special guests for this one. They call it a special event, and I don't really know what's going to be happening here. So maybe there's got to be something good for it. And then High Dive is also having a North American premiere for 2.5 Dimensional Seduction. I don't know what this is about. I saw a little bit of a trailer, or, well, I should say a clip, and I think it's about cosplayers because I vaguely remember seeing the Tokyo Big Sight, which is like their LA Convention Center in Tokyo, and in the background. And I think so. I think it's about cosplay. I think they're high schoolers who cosplay, and maybe it's like some type of magical girl situation. I don't know. It looks cute though. It looks real cute. Then there's also a Guilty Gear anime teaser trailer premiere and panel session. And this one, if you guys are a Guilty Gear fan, this is probably something you're going to want to go to because they're going to have free posters for all attendees, which is super cool. I don't know how I feel about free posters. For people who hand out free posters tend to also be handing out free posters like throughout the event as well, like throughout the rest of Anime Expo. So, I mean, I don't know if they're going to be exclusive, but if you're a Guilty Gear fan, maybe you try and go get it. And, I mean, you're probably going to want to go to the panel anyway and see the trailer premiere. But this is probably not going to be something I want to go to, but I do know a lot of people out there who would want to go to this. Another premiere that's happening is Dungeon People. So the big thing this year is there's a big consensus, not consensus. There's a big trend with fantasy and medieval stuff going on. So you have Freerin, you have Apothecary Diaries. It's not really medieval, but it is in that same like vintage time feel. Like it's older and more classical, I should say. It's not like modern day. But then you also have Dungeon People premiere, and then you have Dungeon Meshi, which is going to be massive this year, guys. Which is massive. There's going to be a Dungeon Meshi cosplay gathering as well. I'm not covering the cosplay gatherings in this video. I'm going to be going to the Nikke gathering and the Dungeon Meshi gathering, and maybe the Zen Zoneless Zero gathering. One of them, I think there's two of that for that. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of cosplay gatherings. Another big panel event that is happening is from Avex Pictures, and they've got this anime here. Man. So I forget the name of it, but this one's really popular. I really like this one. This one was good. This one's having some stuff going on as well. I think they're having a premiere for this one. I don't know what Garden of Remembrance is, but it looks cool. I mean, this watercolor field looks really cool. But Look Back, I've been hearing some really good things about Look Back, and I'm kind of interested in checking it out because it looks really good, and I've been hearing some really good things through the grapevine about it. So I want to check this one out. And then the last panel that I'm going to cover, this is a big one, is the Good Smile and HoloLive panel. I don't know what they're going to be doing here. They're probably going to be announcing more HoloLive figures for Good Smile. I mean, that's probably what's going to happen. But HoloLive is doing something way different this year. My understanding is they're not so happy with Anime Expo in general. And so what they're doing is on Friday, they're having a Dodgers HoloLive night. And this is wild because this is going to be pulling away from the typical AX audience. So, I mean, this is probably a good thing in the long run because that means all of the HoloLive fans are probably going to want to go to this if they can get a ticket. Because, again, this is a separate event outside of Anime Expo that is ticketed. It's $50. But you go to it, you can get the HoloLive. I don't know I mean, Guru's not going to be doing the first pitch of a game, but maybe one of the staff members will. I don't know what they're doing exactly. But the big draw for this is that they're going to be doing a drone show, a HoloLive themed drone show at the end of the baseball game. And then also by going to the baseball game, you can get 3 exclusive HoloLive baseball cards. Now, I'm not a baseball fan, but I like cards, and I really like Gura and Pecora. I'm not really a Hoshimachi fan. I've seen some clips of her, but Gura and Pecora, man, these are some. This is a wild event to be giving away free baseball cards like this, and I assume they're going to be high quality baseball cards. I really wish I could go to this. I'm probably not going to go to. Again, this is a separate event outside of Anime Expo, so this is like a $50. Like I think Dodger tickets are like $50, and also this event. To get to Dodger Stadium, it's at 7. You're going to have to leave like 2 hours. So you're going to have to leave at like 5 p.m. to be able to get to the Dodger Stadium. And it's really unfortunate that, I wish they would have this on a night that's not at Anime Expo, not during Anime Expo. But we'll see. I mean, this is big. I'm really curious to see how the turnout is. If, I'm assuming what's happening is because a lot of baseball is really big in Japan, so I'm assuming what's happening is all the staff that are coming out for HoloLive, I'm assuming after the halls close, they're just going to shuttle everyone over to Dodger Stadium and get to watch a baseball game. I mean, I think I believe the Dodgers just signed there's a Japanese player on the Dodgers, I believe, and he's real big. I know he's in some like fraud drama, or his manager or translator's like going to jail or something like that, but. Yeah, it's super interesting. I really hope they do another HoloLive night in the future that's not during Anime Expo, because I would love to go. I can't go to this because I really want to catch like some of those late night adult panels with like Faku and J18, because that's where I really like those. And yeah, I mean, this is so cool though. This is so cool. This is definitely something if you have like kids or if you're a big Hololive or VTuber fan, this is probably something you want to go to. But yeah, that's it for all of the updates for today for Anime Expo. There's still a lot more stuff that can happen, and just be sure to keep your eyes on their social medias because there's going to be a lot. I'm going to be trying to get some of those guest of honor signatures. I'm going to be going online and trying to get some of those. And yeah, I'll catch you guys at Anime Expo.